Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Guys, today I'm going to explain you about trigonometric inverse functions, and we will find out the domain of such function. Okay, the question is a little bit complicated, but don't worry, we have a full concept, and inshallah you will not face any problem. So please have a look. And if you have a problem, just write down the comments. Whenever we have a time, I will reply you. So the question I'm going to write down is find the domain of fx is equal to sine of inverse x squared divided by 2. As you can see, the question is find the domain. Find the domain, right? Okay, we have to find the domain, and the given function is sine inverse. In my previous lecture, dear, I told you if you have y is equal to sine inverse x, this x here must be from minus 1 to 1. The domain of this 1x, right? Means if the value of x is minus 1 to 1, then this function exists. Otherwise, it does not exist. There is a feature, you can say, it's the nature of sine inverse, that when the value of x is from minus 1 to 1, then y exists, right? Okay, here we have sine inverse x squared by 2. Now, I don't know. For example, I say here x belongs to real number, right? For example, you say, sir, I want to take x is equal to 6. Okay, if you take x is equal to 6, so 6 squared is 36. And 36 divided by 2 is 18. So sine inverse 18 does not exist, right? So here, for finding the domain, x squared divided by 2 must be, okay? So very simple, this x squared divided by 2, this one must be what? Minus 1 to 1. If this x squared by 2 is from minus 1 to 1, then the function exists, and easily we can find out the domain of the given function, right? Okay, so here minus 1 x squared by 2 is less than or equal to 1, right? Okay, now we are going to find out x, but the question is how? Okay, it will give you a lot of information, a lot of knowledge here. You see, this is x squared by 2. Okay, first I want to tell you what is x squared. You know, guys, if you have x squared, y is equal to x squared, the graph is always like that. Y equal to x squared, if you see y is equal to x squared, here y always 0 or greater than 0. Y cannot be negative. This is very simple and very interesting. Okay, here y is equal to x squared, right? Y cannot be a negative values. Y is always 0 or greater than 0. Okay, here you can see this is x squared by 2. By 2 means the graph is something like this, right? Okay, so in each case, this value, I'm talking about this one, this one must be always 0 to positive infinity, from 0 to positive infinity, right? But here, what is given here? This is given from minus 1 to 1. So if I say here, this is minus 1 and this is what? Plus 1, okay? So this is impossible. This is impossible. I cannot make the graph here, right? Okay, so we have one condition 0, and here you have a positive infinity, so the maximum value is what? 1 is given here, right? Okay, so if you see this one, the x squared divided by 2 must be from minus 1 to 1, but x squared by 2 cannot be a negative, right? It may be a 0. X squared by 2 may be a 0, but you cannot say that x squared divided by 2 for each and every value of x has the minus 1, right? Okay, so we can say this value x squared by 2 must be greater than 0 or less than 1. Less than or equal to 1, right? So we can say this inequality holds, but this one, for the negative value, it is impossible, right? Okay, so this is 0. For example, if you put here 0, so 0 divided by 2 is 0. So we can say this 0. So 0 to 1, x square by 2 must be from 0 to 1 according to this one, because we cannot take the negative value. Now, if you have this one, so you just multiply it by 2 here, multiply it by 2 here, multiply it by 2 here. So this is what? X square, and this is what? 2. So please, this x square, as I told you here, x square is always what? X square is always from 0 to positive infinity, right? From 0 to positive infinity. But here, we are not going to take positive value. Our maximum value is what? Just 2. So we can say we have x square is less than or equal to 2, okay? Because x square always start from the 0, right? So whenever you have x square less than equal to 2, remember this one can be written as, okay, minus 2 less than equal to 0, right? And then here you can say x square, and minus 2 can be written as under root 2 whole square less than equal to 0. So you can say x is under root 2, and this is what? X minus under root 2 then equal to 0, right? So now what you have to do, so just take under root 2 is 1.14, so this will be under root 2, this is minus under root 2, right? And this is what? If this is your positive infinity, this is your negative infinity. Now remember one thing in your mind, whenever this is less than, again I will repeat 3 times, whenever you see this is what? Less than, whenever this value is less than or less than equal to, less than or less than equal to, we will take this area only. We will take only this value. Means this will hold, the condition will be true if the value of x is between minus under root 2 to 2, under root 2, right? So we can say the domain, the x belongs to what? We are going to use the close bracket. Why? Because here less than equal to, right? So x belongs to minus root 2 to 2. This is the domain of the given function, right? So if here if you have here any value from minus root 2 to under root 2, right? So if you have minus root 2 to root 2, this one exists. For example, if I say I'm going to take under root 2, so under root 2 whole square is 2, 2 by 2 is 1, so sine inverse 1 is 5 by 2, the formula is exists, right? So remember, the domain will be minus under root 2 to root 2, so this is your domain, right? Here, as I told you here, whenever you have x square is less than equal to 2, you have to solve this question like this way, x square minus 2, the 2 is shifted here, and this 2 can be written as in the square form under root 2 whole square, right? And remember, whenever this is less than or less than equal to, you have to take the number between minus under root 2 to 2. But if this is what? Greater than or greater than equal to 2, then we will take this part, this one or this one, right? So this is always for the less than, and this is for the greater than. I hope guys you all understand. Even still, if you have a problem, you can just mention the comment. Whenever we have a time, I will reply you. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.